Hello friends, welcome to the channel. Today in this lesson we are going to learn displaying the validation messages in the blade and also creating our own custom validation message. After that we are going to learn about try and catch block. If you guys are working with multiple tables in the single method, so it's very important to use try catch with db transaction and db commit. After that we are going to learn about how we can fetch data from database to our view. So let's start with the video. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel and thanks for subscribing. In the last video we have learned that how we can create a form in Laravel and how we can post it, and also we have learned that how we can save an image in that, and at the end we have learned that how we can create a validation. So let's go to browser now. Let's continue our lessons. Refresh the page. Okay, my validation, first of all, for example, if I add here now a name, a price which is greater than 100 and a quantity also greater than 100 and leave the image blank. Let's save. First of all, let's check our database. I have only 4 records. If I save this, I redirect it back to my page, and let's see our database, and as you guys can see, nothing has been saved. The reason is because we added a validation. It does not allow to continue this part until the requirement which we mention in here is matched. So we also in this lesson we were going to learn that how we can display that validation messages in here. So let's go back to our VS Code, our blade file, and after this class that I wrote, class CRUD, in here we will type at if $errors arrow key any function, and we will end our if here. Between this we will open a new div with a class of alert, danger, and ul. Inside this we are going to use for each loop. So add for each $errors all as error. Now inside this our for each loop I am going to use li and display my errors. So $error, this error in here we will write. So let's save. Let's go back to browser, refresh our page, type anything here, make it bigger, this one also. Now let's press submit. So as you guys can see, we got our error messages. We can also modify this messages and add our custom message. So let's do that. For that we will come to our form request, which is products request in here, and below this rules I will create another method. I will type public function messages and return an array. In here inside that this array I will type my field name which I want to write a custom message for, with the validation which I want to create a message. So for example, in this, my first of all my field name which is name dot the validation which is required, then after arrow key my message. For example, please press the subscribe button to support the channel. So that's it. Now let's refresh our page. Okay, I will leave this empty, and I will type this, for example, less than 100, and I will choose an image also. Press the submit button. We get our custom error message, which is please press the subscribe button. Hope you guys already pressed that. And if you guys notice one thing, when I press the submit button, all my values are gone. Now I have to write them again. So let's see how we can solve this problem. To do that, we will come to our VS Code, our blade file, and inside our input we will type the value. Value is equal to old and dash name, which is this, the name of our input name. So let's copy this and my other inputs also. Copy, paste, and change old function parameter to our name, and inside this one also, and copy this, paste it here. Okay, now let's go back to our browser, refresh our page, and let's write something again here, here, and here. Now let's press the submit button. So you guys can see we got our error messages as well as our old value. So okay, so let's go back to our product controller. In here, as you guys can see, we use two of our tables to add data inside it. One is products and another one is photos. And let's suppose we got an error. Let's add an introduce an error in here, a bug. So let's say this one. Okay, and let me clear my database also, rerun migration here, PHP artisan, migrate, refresh. So now my database is completely empty, nothing is there. I have introduced this to this bag. Now imagine if I go here, add everything, make everything correct, and also add an image, submit. So I got an error. That's what we expected. Now let's see our database. If I do refresh here, you guys can see it still added this record. Now if I go back to my photos data, now you can see there is nothing. It added half my data, but another half is missing, which belongs to another table. So the reason is because in here we don't have any try and catch block. So let's add try and catch block in here. Try, and inside this try I will type db and import this in the top, the subclass db begin transaction, like this, and below it I will type db commit, like this, and in the after try block I will type catch to catch any error, backslash exception $e, and inside this I will say db : commit rollback. So this is our try and catch block. It will start to adding anything which is inside this between db transaction and db commit. If everything is correct, it will commit to the database. otherwise it will roll back all the changes that it did. So let's cut our code from here, from down, and let's return also, cut this, put it inside this try block between db transaction and db commit, and move the return below commit. So right now if everything is correct, it will save to database. Otherwise, let's say in here return back with $e. Okay, now everything is working fine. Now let's go back to our database, refresh our let's go back and refresh our page. Let's do same thing, everything correct, add everything correct, choose an image, press the submit button. As you guys can see, we got an error. And now let's go to our database, refresh. As you guys can see, nothing is saved in our products table as well as in our photos table. So if you guys are using more than one table in your method, in one method, don't forget to use this try catch block with this db transaction, db commit, and db rollback. So now let's fix our error. Let's go back to browser, and everything is working fine. Press submit. So it's saved. Now let's go back to the database, refresh. You guys, as you guys can see, our photo is been added as well as our newly recorded product record. So now let's see how we can read from our database. To do that, we will come in our products controller, and down here I will type another function method which is read, and inside this I will create a new variable items, and in here after the equal I will type my model name which is products, and I will type all. Now this will fetch everything in our products table here. So, and one more thing, I will say return view, and I will type my view which I haven't created yet. So let's go and create our view also. I will come to resources, view, and in here I will create a new view file with the name of here inside the pages, in here with the name of read.blade.php, and I will copy everything from here, paste it here, remove the form. We don't need the form, we don't need the errors, we remove it. So in here, now let's go back to our product controller. I will say return page, it was inside page folder dot read, and after the read we have to type comma compact and our item, so $items. Now save. Let's go and make a route for it. In here I will type route get read, and my controller which is products controller colon class, and my method name which was read also. Now save. Everything is done here, also done. Let's copy this, paste it in our browser, enter. So it say must be type of string compact. Let's see what's the error in our product controller. Products all sorry guys, in here you have to type your variable as an string. So this is the same as this, so in here we have to type it as an string. Now let's go back, refresh our page, and as you guys can see it's showing. Now let's create a table in here to show our data. To do that, I will type table head, and in here th, where the first thing is name, then copy 2 more times, and our second column is price, the third one is quantity. Now inside table body I will type a for each loop. So for that I will type add for each. So now it's the variable that we send here as an items. So we will type that. Let's copy this, copy, and here paste. This is a plural items, so after that I will type a singular item. It doesn't matter what you type here. So the reason that I wrote it singular is because it's easy to understand. I can even write it here ABC, doesn't matter. So I will say tr. Now let's fix this item. I will create a row with td, and inside here I will create this double brackets. Then I will type item. Let's fix this also. Item, arrow, and my column name, which is name. So I will copy this again, paste, and change this to price, and change this one to quantity. So now let's save it and go to browser. Let's refresh our page, and as you guys can see, we got our records. Let's check our database. Yeah, in here let's refresh. Yeah, we have only 2 records in here and 2 records in here also. So we got our database. So thanks a lot for watching this video, and in the next video we are going to learn how we can fetch our photos also with this. So see you guys in the next video, and don't forget to press the subscribe button.